Great to have my next guest back on the show. It's the freight train, Gabe Rednose, who's got another big fight this time, June the 16th at HFN 12 when he takes on Kache Palacio for the cruiserweight title. Gabe, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me on the show again.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back. It's been what, almost a year now, and I've noticed you haven't fought since then. So I just kind of want to start there. Why the reason for no fight is has there been an injury? Is just or just no opponents to step up?
A little bit of both. So actually, after the Pan Am's last time we talked, I had torn something in my knee week 2 of that camp leading up to the Pan Americans. Kind of put it in the back of my head. Didn't really want to think about it and give it too much, too much power in my mind. So we wanted to wait until after the Pan Americans to get any MRIs done or go to the doctor. Uh, Ended up getting caught in the knee bar in the finals at the Pan Americans. Same knee. Uh, got back to the States, went ahead and had surgery, MCL meniscus repair. Completely tore both of them. That put me out a little while. Um, then finally got back in the groove a little bit, started training for a fight that I had coming up in May. Would have been actually last May 13th. Would have been May 13th last weekend. And we could not find a fight to save my life. We asked the top prospects in any state, you name it, whether they were busy or couldn't fight at that time, whatever it may be. So it's been tough. And then my coach, Joe Stevenson, got the call, said that we got offered the California state title, but it was up a weight class at 230. And I said, hey, I've been training anyway, so let's get someone locked in there.
I know we did talk a little bit after your last fight, the one you did lose via knee bar, and I know there was a little bit of an injury, but I guess I didn't realize it was as significant as you're saying it was. Did you find out the details as to how bad it was after we spoke? How when was the date that you found that out?
So I didn't go to the doctor until after I got back from Mexico. So would have been afterwards. I actually injured it week 2 of my fight camp leading up to the Pan Americans, and then getting caught in that knee bar definitely didn't help anything out. So I think I ended up getting a surgery middle of July. I got back like June 20, I think it was 24th, and then went straight into surgery that, I think it was like 2 weeks later.
Mm. How difficult was that just mentally knowing that okay, this is going to put me on the shelf for a little while?
It was tough. It was tough for sure, because I had so much momentum. It was the best camp of my life, best shape of my life I've ever been in. Got down to like 198 pounds, 9% body fat. I was feeling really lean, feeling really explosive. Um, but it just comes with the territory. It's one of those things that mentally you have to be strong and prepared for, because, there's always a chance that something like that can happen.
Mm. I wanted to ask too, like when you're cutting weight and you want to get down to, like you're just saying, like south of 200 pounds, what's the most important thing for you? Is it staying in the gym, sweating, or is it just your diet and making sure that whatever you put into your mouth is clean and healthy?
A little bit of both. So like I don't have a whole bunch of experience with cutting weight. I got up to like 294 pounds. I think we talked about it a little bit in the last interview we did. Uh, and I was just unhealthy. And really, I just saw myself in the mirror. I have to lead by example now that I'm a father. I didn't want my kids thinking, that was okay. So right then and there, it clicked in my mind, and weight loss journey started. I got all the way down to around like 205 pounds. I did a couple jiu-jitsu tournaments to help me meet my weight goals. Like I got down to like 220, competed at 220 in jiu-jitsu, and then went ahead and just kept working out. And naturally, it just all came off because working out with Joe, Mondays and Wednesdays, we were working 10 hours a day straight on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's 8 hours, So when you're out there working with him, it tends to fall off pretty easy.
Yeah, for sure. And how tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
Okay, geez, man. So you must be super lean when you get down to like 205.
Man, I've always been a big boy my whole life, and seeing myself there, pretty vascular, little abs coming in, it was for sure a sight to see.
Yeah, no doubt, man. That's fantastic. What's the weight right now?
I'm about 228 right now, give or take. Not really sticking to any like super clean diet, and this week I'm actually upping my cardio. So, uh, I should get back down closer to 205. I want to say maybe around 218, 220. That way the cut to 205 won't be too bad.
All right. Well, this cruiserweight I thought was 225. Is that not accurate in California?
Nope, 230.
Okay.
230. So it's 206 to 230. And then light heavyweight is 180. I guess it'd be 186 to 205.
Okay. Very good. So this is going to be, I mean, you're not even going to have to cut any weight. You can just show up day of the fight and weigh
I know.
in
I've been.
completely.
It feels great because I've been actually being able to strength train some. Usually my body packs on mass really fast, and I can't really strength train as I'm going down. But it's been fun being able to incorporate some strength training into my workouts.
Did you just say shrink the train?
No, it's been fun in incorporating strength training into my workouts.
Okay, because with your nickname Freight Train, I thought you said shrink the train going down. I was like, wow, that is like some serious Conor McGregor stuff right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe I need to pitch that some.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. Well, you talk a little bit about being a dad. I know you're a big family man. You actually have, what is it, a graduation later today that you're going to?
Yeah, it's my nephew's graduation. My daughter actually graduated from Head Start as well recently, so a few days ago.
Very cool. What has that family life been like to obviously do your duties as a father and a husband, and then still get the work in for training that you need?
It's tough, man. It's really tough to be honest with you. People do it every day, so I don't like to complain about it because it's for sure possible. It just adds a little bit more sacrifices into your daily routine. Um, I wake up at 4:45 every morning and I drive an hour to Oklahoma City. And I get my all my jujitsu rounds in before I go to work, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays I try my best to make it in at for the noon MMA classes there at Lovato's. It's tough doing all that, with full time job and kids and never picking up kids from school and all of that. But people do it every day, so I don't like to complain about it because it's for sure possible. I'm just blessed to be able to do it at all, so that's the way I look at it.
Absolutely. And how many kids do you have again?
I have two. I have a daughter and a son.
That's right. Okay. Man, has it just changed the way you look at everything in life since you've had children? That's what I've heard. I don't have any yet, but
Every, everything, any choice I make, any decision I make, in my life, it's gonna affect them. So they're my number one priorities, and anything that I do in my life is, you know, gonna be involved around them.
yeah, you're clearly a good dad. There's no doubt about that. I could just see that from everything you post on social media, man. Tell me a little bit specifically about this training camp, getting ready for June 16th. Who have been like the main partners that you've been, really going with to get you ready for? Is it Kache or Kosh? Am I saying that right?
I think it's Kache Palacio, but I've heard it's pronounced a lot of different ways, so I'm not sure to be honest with you. Um, Leading up to this camp, I've been training a lot at Lovato's. David Wright, he's a big prospect at 185 pounds coming out of Lovato's. My MMA coach, Aaron McKenzie, he was just on the Ultimate Fighter. I try to get in there as much as I can with those guys because with their knowledge and their skill set, you have no other opportunity besides no other option to get better. It's either adapt or get your butt kicked. So, but definitely those two guys, and my professor Lovato is in there as well. Um, One of the best, biggest American legends in jiu-jitsu history. So it's really awesome to be able to actually watch him perfect all of his skill sets and learn from him.
How is your ground game? If this fight goes to the ground, how much trouble is your opponent in?
Game over if it goes to the ground. 100% confident.
Okay, I love that, man. You mentioned one of your teammates was just on the Ultimate Fighter. It hasn't released yet. Was it Team McGregor or Team Chandler?
Team McGregor.
That is fantastic. Have you seen the new series on Netflix, McGregor Forever? Have you watched that yet?
I have not, but I've heard a lot about it and have been really wanting to try to make some time to watch that.
Oh, it's so good, man. And like I think it's safe to say that at this point in his career, I mean, I think probably his best days are behind him. And I'm a huge Connor fan, but it is what it is. Like time catches up with all of us. And when he was like at his peak when he knocked out Jose Aldo, like
Yep.
he still is the biggest, name in the sport. He's a mega star. So I wanted to transition from that into another question that I had for you because another megastar, one of the biggest names in the sport, is John Jones. And I noticed on your Instagram that there's a couple of pictures of you with John Jones, and it looks like you guys are training together. So I got to hear this story. Please fill me in.
For sure. Yep. I trained with John back in 2019 at Jackson Week. That's before I got really involved with any gym. I've never really had like a specific gym that I trained at. Just because anywhere I go, it's going to be, like an hour drive. And that has always kind of halted my progression in finding a gym. Um, but in 2019, I had a couple buddies who trained out there. I went out there with them, and I just got lucky enough to get some rounds in with John, and um, it's amazing. He's 1 in a million, 1 in a billion. I mean, I don't think there's a specimen on this earth that is like John Jones.
Have you kept in touch with them?
Um, I don't think it's really like on that type of level. We trained with each other for a few times, and I went and said what's up to him whenever he was in Las Vegas for his fight. I was actually out there as well, doing some training for work, and it just so happens that we got to go to the UFC fights as well, and
Mm.
met him at his meet and greets and just said what's up. Like we know each other, but it's not like we're best friends and texting and
Okay.
everything like that.
Fair enough. Yeah. So we obviously saw what he did to Cyril Gahn. It looks like Stipe Miocic is what's next for him. And then obviously that Francis Ngannou mega fight looms if it ever happens. That would just be massive. Do you feel like there's someone out there that could beat him right now? Is Francis the guy, or is that not even the case?
Francis has two blown knees and a terrible ground game. I think John Jones would end that early, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, you can't ever underestimate the hardest hitting man in the world, but it's hard to box off your back, and that's
Mhm.
exactly where John would put him.
Okay. Wow. Geez, I sure hope I get to see it. That'd be fantastic. Got to ask you about a couple other guys. Obviously, the fight here that you're competing for the cruiserweight title, FHN. That's Dan Henderson's promotion, Hendo's Fight Night.
Yep.
And obviously, you've been out to California a bunch. Jared Vandera, Fernando Gonzalez, a couple of my favorite guys in all of combat sports. Have you had a chance to get any work in with those guys at all in the recent past since we've spoken last?
I have not. I actually plan on going out like a week or so early, and Dominic Reyes, Jared Vandera, all those guys that you mentioned. I did send them a message, so I plan on seeing them as well, just to tune up a little bit before, like maybe a week out before my fight.
And it's got to just give you even more, notability and just, shine to know that, you're headlining Dan Henderson's event. I mean, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's when I got the call and they asked me, I was without hesitation. I said, let me make sure it's okay with my family and my job, and good to go there. I don't care who signs the contract, just get someone in there with me and let me get my hands on someone.
So how much time off are you going to get from your job to go out to California for this fight?
Um, it's I'm sure I could have gotten, you know, it's hard because, I have responsibilities there as well. So it's hard to, they blessed me with the opportunity to take off 30 days last year to go out there and train for the Pan Americans. I don't want to, push my luck and make them think that this is, something I'm going to be doing all the time. So, uh, I kind of just stepped back, and I'm in a great gym here in Oklahoma City at Lovato's. That's actually who Coach Joe referred me to. Lovato recently gave Joe his fourth degree on his black belt. So they were already tied in together, and just kind of worked out perfect that it happened to be in Oklahoma City, not that far away from me. Um, so I'm maybe going to take a week off early to go out there and get some training in with those guys. But Joe is a mastermind, so you don't need long for him to break technique down or tune you up. He's very good at what he does, and I'm confident that he could fix whatever errors he sees within a few days, and we could get those fixed to where he wants it to be.
Fantastic. Well, I know for you too, Gabe, the plan eventually will be to, be full time as a mixed martial artist, and that's going to require turning professional. When is that going to happen? When are you thinking about actually turning pro?
So it's iffy. I would love to go pro and start getting paid for this stuff. That might actually be the trigger I have to pull in order to start doing it full time. That way I could get a little bit of more money coming in if I win fights, yeah, etc. Um, but I really, really want to make it to where I have such a good amateur resume that, they're almost forced to, pay me for that. I know that sounds kind of crazy, and some people might say, amateur records don't mean anything, but if you can make your name known well enough on the amateur scene, I feel like that just rolls over into the pro scene to a certain extent. And so I'm just really working on, snatching as many belts as I can for big promotions, and really trying to get my name out all over the United States and, Mexico or wherever. If I train for the Pan Americans again and fight for them, which I don't know, I think it's in August or something of next year. So I highly doubt that I'll be still an amateur then. But I'm open to going abroad again and fighting for Team USA or whatever it may be, or maybe I'll just pull the trigger at the end of the year, maybe collect a few more titles and uh, build a little bit more experience, then pull the trigger on going pro.
How old are you now?
I'm 25.
Oh, you got tons of time. You're still super young, man. So yeah, excited to see when you do turn pro and how you handle that and where you go from here. But obviously, first and foremost, all you have on your mind right now is getting this win, getting this cruiserweight title. Let's talk about this fight, man. Palacio, he's 7-4. 6 of his 7 wins are by finish. So the guy is a finisher. He can put you out. So having said that, break this fight down for me, man. How do you see this fight going? Where is he dangerous? Where are you better?
He's a really good southpaw. He has a really good stiff jab from the southpaw stance. Um, I'm if he wants to bang it out, let's bang it out. And if he wants to try to take it to the ground, let's take it to the ground. I'm comfortable and confident in wherever it goes. Um, I just plan on, showing as much violence as I can and trying to get the finish as fast as I can. So I hope this guy's training and taking this serious, because I know I am, and I know that I'm coming to make a name for myself out there in California on the West Coast. So, that's where he's from, and this Oklahoma boy's about to come in there and show him how we do it.
Ultimately, how do you see this fight ending? Do you think you get a finish?
I'm confident I get the finish. Yes, sir.
You think it's early, or are we going, late into the fight?
I respect him for sure. He's a great athlete. He's explosive. I'm not taking nothing away from that, but you know, football's a game and this ain't a game, so I expect a early finish.
All right, man. And how do you like playing the villain, going into the home guy's town and wearing the black hat? Is that something that you thrive off of?
It doesn't really affect me because at the end of the day, it's just going to be him and I locked in that cage. So, all his hometown crowd and hometown fans, they aren't going to be in there fighting the fight for him. So, at the end of the day, it's just going to be him and I locked in there, and he's going to have to deal with that.
Can't wait, man. For anybody that can't be there in person, is there a way to watch this online?
Yes, sir. I actually don't know the exact streaming platform yet. They haven't released it, but they did clarify that there's 100% going to be a live stream. So, as soon as they release those details, I'll put it all over my social media for everyone to know.
Perfect, man. June 16th, Gabe Rednose back in action, looking to collect another belt, this time at HFN 12, the California Cruiserweight title. Gabe, great talking to you, man. Before we do sign off, as always, I want to throw it over to you. Tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have anything to plug, anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Yes, sir. My Instagram is gred58, and my Facebook is just Gabe Rednose, or I have a fight page on there, Gabe the Freight Train Rednose. I want to give a shout out to all of my sponsors who have helped me financially. I can't do it without them because I'm at a stage now to where I'm not making a lot of money going into these fights, and you know, them sponsoring me and helping me with all of that really makes the difference. But I want to give a big shout out to my team, Lovato Jiu Jitsu and MMA there in Oklahoma City. Thank you to all my guys who have helped sharpen the blades and help me get ready for this fight. We still got about 3 weeks left to train together, so I'm looking forward to all of our rounds coming up. And thanks for all my family and friends, supporters, and even the haters. All you guys, thank you very much, and I look forward to putting on a show.